The following is a production of CUTV Sports.
Semester is winding down, but PSAC basketball is heating up as CUTV presents California Vulcans women's basketball against the Johnstown Mountain Cats. Hello and welcome to the broadcast, everybody. My name is Matt Hagee. Alongside me is Creighton Rabs. Creighton, we have a battle of 5-1 teams here tonight, and two teams that put up 90-point efforts in their last games.
Yeah, the offenses are definitely heating up, Matt. For the Vulcan women, they avenged they bounced back from last Tuesday's loss here against Findlay with a convincing 91-57 win at Shepherd. The Mountain Cats had to work overtime in Ohio this past Monday as they defeated Urbana by a score of 97-85.
These two teams last season, Pitt Johnstown making their PSAC debut. They split last season, but the last time you were here at the Convocation Center, the Vulcans had their way.
They certainly did. It was a 94-65 win back on February 19th, Matt, and you look back at the game they lost in Johnstown. It was Nicole Carmen who had a game-winning layup that gave the Mountain Cats the win and the season split.
And a couple players to watch today. For the Vulcans, we'll be looking at a new player, a new transfer from England, Lana Doran, who's really done a nice job this season so far.
Lana Doran had scored double digits the last time out at Shepherd. She finished with 15.7 rebounds, but one thing we've noticed, Matt, she does a lot of the things that don't show up on the stat sheets, much like the last player to wear number 12 for the Vulcan women, and that would be Kate Seabaum. So look for her to have a breakout performance tonight.
Definitely a lot of similarities there. And as for the Mountain Cats, they have their big center who's been absolutely destroying other offense teams she's played so far. Her name is Jessica Harper.
Jasmine Harper, the junior out of Cleveland Heights, Ohio. She's averaging a double-double so far this season, 22.5 points per game, 11 rebounds per game. The last time these two teams met, they held Harper to just 4 points, but when they met earlier in Johnstown last season, Harper had a game-high 16. So Harper's definitely the player to watch for UPJ tonight.
These two teams fighting right now atop of the PSAC West standings. When we come back, Creighton and I will have all the action of this early season PSAC game here on CUTV.
NCAA Division II has much to cheer about, as nearly 100,000 student athletes compete with passion and pride. And I'm pleased to share the best news of all. Student athletes are outperforming the rest of the D2 student body in graduation rates. Just another reason why you'll hear us say with pride, I chose Division II. Learn more at d2sa.org.
With 18 institutions, my conference is the largest league across all NCAA classifications. With nearly 7,000 student athletes competing in 23 championships, my conference sponsors the most championships in Division II. With a 78% academic success rate, my conference graduates student athletes well above the national average. We compete with passion. We take pride in our efforts in the arena and in the classroom. The Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. Passion, pride, Pennsylvania.
Welcome back to the Convocation Center as we present these early PSAC West matchup between the Mountain Cats of Pitt Johnstown and the California Vulcans. Once again, my name is Matt Hagee. Alongside me is Creighton Rabs. Creighton, we're going to take a look at the tail of the tape between these two 5-1 teams.
And the numbers for UPJ, they've scored 91 points a game, but it's worth noting they did have this, and they had a big, rather large offensive output. Their opening game, a loss against Point Park. They scored 98 against Bluefield State 95 against Clarion, and of course 97 their last time out. California, offensively, the numbers in comparison don't look that great, but take a look at the points against. 61 points per game. Their defense has been very stout. They've been forcing almost twice as many steals, not as many turnovers, and it was those turnovers that proved costly in their game this past Tuesday against Findlay. They had 22 turnovers while forcing 23, and we saw basically Findlay playing California-style defense, and that proved to be the difference.
And you mentioned about that UPJ team, not really playing a big tested team, but still in 5-1 nonetheless. But now we're going to take a look at the starting lineups.
Yes, first taking a look at the we have the California starting lineup. It'll be Emma Mahadi, the senior from Australia at one forward position. Caitlin Frotz, the senior out of Accident, Maryland, at one guard spot. Lana Doran, our player to watch, junior out of Northamptonshire, England. Nikki Glenn, the sophomore out of Bridgeport, West Virginia, and adding up at the other forward spot, Irina Kuko, the senior from Harrisonburg, Virginia. For the Mountain Cats, and there you see head coach Jess Strom, her fourth year at the helm of the Vulcan women. Now taking a look at the UPJ starters. Jasmine Harper, the junior out of Cleveland Heights, Ohio, at one forward position. Olivia Rizzo, a junior out of Harrison City, went to Penn Trafford High School. So one guard spot. The other guards are Kelsey Slider, a senior from Uniontown, a bit of a homecoming for her. Dominique Smith, a junior out of Maple Heights, Ohio, at one guard spot. And the other forward is Agnes Armenia. She's a junior from Riga, Latvia, transferred in from the community college in Kansas. There you see UPJ's head coach in his second year. And your referees for tonight's game are Mike Clyde, Brad Robber, and Margot Hinton.
So we are set and ready to go here. It's Irina Kuko versus Jasmine Harper, and we are underway as Jasmine Harper wins the tip for the Mountain Cats. So now they bring it back. Dominique Smith controls the basketball, hands it off to Misi. Here's back to Smith. Smith, top of the key, and now back to her. Quick passing to Rizzo. Rizzo puts up a shot, looks for Smith. Smith puts up a layup. Good bounce off, rebound controlled by Lana Doran.
Fortuitous bounce there by the Vulcans as you saw the UPJ player getting wide open for that look.
Kuko puts up a shot, no good, off the laybound, and rebounded by Aramina. UPJ back and ready to go. Here's Dominique Smith again, being worked on by Mickey Glenn. Smith hands it off. Three-pointer shot for Kelsey Slater. No good. Rebounded by Frotz. Now the head, here's Mahadi. Mahadi on a quick break, and she backs up to slow down the offense.
And UPJ very dangerous beyond the arc, over 40% on the season.
Emma Mahadi also dangerous behind the arc, but she misses, and now UPJ takes possession. So now here's Olivia Rizzo. Worked on by Frotz. Inside, deflected by Kuko, but right back to Rizzo, who gets it back inside to Harper. Harper puts up a shot, no good, rebound by Frotz.
Yeah, those early game jitters for both teams. We have not seen a shot fall in yet, but it was a good defensive effort by Kuko, just didn't get the bounce for the turnover.
Now Lana Doran contains possession. Player to watch, she works inside on Aramina, puts up a shot, draws a foul. That would be called travel, excuse me.
Yeah, we saw the trailing official signal what it was a foul, but there you see she did take a couple steps before the contact by Aramina, so a good call by Mike Clyde, referee.
Indeed it was. Dominique Smith hands it off to Aramina. Inside to Harper. Harper, it's a big matchup. Using her 6'1" frame, puts up a shot and puts it in. Harper gets the UPJ Mountain Cats on the board.
And that's the big height disparity. It's only a couple of inches, but Harper able to take advantage of Doran right underneath the basket.
22 points per game, and this one's stolen away by Aramina. Aramina's got Harper with her. She gets it to Harper. Harper shakes off Kuko, puts it in, and Jasmine Harper has put UPJ up 4-0.
And she had a nice move to get Kuko away from the basket, and she just had a wide open lane along the baseline. So now California, I know it's early, but they're in a little bit of a heap of hurting right there.
Glenn gives it to Kuko, who puts inside to Mahadi. Mahadi puts up a jumper and puts it in. Emma Mahadi gets the Vulcans on the board. It's 4-2.
Mahadi getting the friendly bounce off the square on the backboard, able to get it in. So that should stifle UPJ's momentum.
Here's a three-pointer in the corner from Slater. That's no good. Rebounded by Slater. Almost stolen away. Gets it back to Rizzo. Rizzo's going to shoot a three. That one's no good. Rebounded by Glenn.
Oh, California lucky right there. Rizzo was wide open.
Glenn puts the basket and puts it in. Mickey Glenn ties it at 4.
That's what you need from Glenn. She had scored quite well the other night against Shepherd.
4-0 run by UPJ, 4-0 run by Cal. Here comes Harper. Harper puts up a shot, puts it in, and gets an and one call as well. Oh, it's called an offensive foul.
Yeah, a big break for California as the foul's going to be on Harper. Watch as she drives the lane. Looks like there was contact as Kuko's feet were set. I mean, that's a borderline call, but it goes California's way.
Actually, I believe they called she stepped on the line.
Oh, okay.
But a better break, though, for UPJ that it's not Harper does not get in early foul trouble.
But it still counts as a turnover.
Very true. Frotz gives it over to Mahadi. Mahadi drives the basket, puts it in, and she will get called. And Kelsey Slater looks like she'll be called for the foul.
And we'll see here on the replay, Matt, you see Mahadi driving the lane, and Slater's feet were not set, but they are calling it a non-shooting foul, so possession remains with the Vulcans.
Lana Doran works inside, loses possession, and it will be UPJ basketball.
That was a little awkward drive to the basket there by Doran. Honestly, from looking live, I thought a UPJ player might have deflected it, but the referee was right there.
16:31 in the game. We see Nicole Carmen in for UPJ for the first time. This basketball stolen away there by Frotz to Mahadi. Now back to Frotz, down court. Frotz with a lot of speed, gets her ball tipped, and now it's recovered by UPJ.
It looked like Rizzo might have gotten away with a little bit of contact, but it wasn't enough to justify a foul call.
Slater looking for Carmen. Carmen turns around, puts up a shot, and puts it in. Nicole Carmen with her first 2 points of the game.
And Carmen's that dangerous sixth player off the bench for the Mountain Cats.
Caitlin Frotz, the former UPJ Mountain Cat, gets it inside of Kuko. Kuko works around Harper, puts up a shot, no good. Big scrum for the ball, but Doran gets it, fires it back in. Caught by Frotz, great play. Frotz with a jumper, and good. 6-6 at all.
Just outstanding athleticism by Doran as she's able to save the ball, finds a wide open Frotz, and Frotz does the rest.
Action starting to pick up here in the Convocation Center. 15:40 left in the first half. Here's Nicole Carmen. Around, gives it to Rizzo. Rizzo worked on there by Caitlin Frotz, giving her no room. Rizzo tries to work to slide it away into the Cal bench, but UPJ will retain possession. And we will have our first media timeout here of the first half.
It'll give both chance an opportunity to brief. We haven't had a lot of stoppages so far in this game, but it's really been evenly matched so far in the first four and a half minutes of this contest.
Took it about like 2 minutes to get going here, but when they did, they got going.
And there's Nicole Carmen's with the easy layup on the basket. And Matt, we'll take a look at the PSAC West standings. A few surprises so far. You see Edinburgh in the middle of the pack at 1-1. They coming off back-to-back losses for the first time in 3 weeks. Last Tuesday, they lost to Bloomsburg. There you see the top, California, UPJ, and Gannon. Gannon is playing Clarion as we're taping this game here tonight. So Mercyhurst and IUP, that 1-5 record for Mercyhurst, quite frankly, a little misleading. They've had a tough schedule right out of the gate, but I think the Lakers certainly have a chance to surprise people. They play IUP tonight, and there you see head coach Jess Strom as the teams come out of the media timeout.
You mentioned earlier that definitely agree that Mercyhurst already had to play Gannon, Cal, and they're playing IUP tonight, so it doesn't get any easier from there. But both teams 5-1 here. You saw it both top standings.
And I actually did, even before the Mercyhurst Cal game, I saw the Lakers playing against West Liberty and Notre Dame in the tip-off tournament here, and I'll tell you what, that Lakers team is going to be dangerous.
Very young team. As a tip and pass there, good roll by Harper, but gives it right to Kuko. Tried to save it, but didn't work out.
And she's able to save it, but she just wanted it right into Kuko, so Vulcans get a break there.
Mahadi pulls up for a long three-pointer. That's an air ball, and looked like it was touched by Slater there, and the Vulcans will retain possession.
And that is what they are going to call. California will have 18 seconds to shoot with 15-11 left to play in the first half. So we're talking about teams that could be dangerous. UPJ is.
Three-pointer by Kuko is no good. Slapped by Doran and out of bounds, so it would be UPJ basketball. early shots going along there. But back with that Mahadi shot there, they had to get the ball across midcourt. It would have been a 10-second violation. And Mahadi got it in and misfired there. Hurried shot.
Yeah, we see a couple new players coming in for UPJ. It is Leah Hansen and Kayla DeCrisco, as we see Slater and Dominique Smith taking a break.
And Kayla DeCrisco, 12.5 off the bench. So this is a very good UPJ bench. As Harper gets the ball and it's lost away and stolen by Mickey Glenn. Glenn working down court with a lot of speed, pulls up for a jumper, and good. Mickey Glenn gives the Vulcans their first lead at 14-46.
And Glenn had a double-double the other night against Shepherd, 22 points, 10 rebounds. So she's picking up right where she left off last year.
Now DeCrisco. Swapped away by Mahadi. Mahadi's got it. One girl to beat, puts up the basket and puts it in. Back-to-back points for the Vulcans. Timeout UPJ.
And this is the track meet that I'm sure both teams were certainly worried about, but just an outstanding job by Mahadi with the steal, and she just took off, had a wide open lane to the basket. There's Mickey Glenn's shot from the top of the key, just very impressive. As Glenn ended the game up 43% from the field for the sophomore from West Virginia. And there you see the one-on-one as Mahadi just drives the lane, nobody in front of her, the easy layup, and it's now a 10-6 California lead. Vulcans are shooting 5 for 11 from the field. UPJ 3 for 8, but we were talking about turnovers. The Mountain Cats have 5, the Vulcans 3.
So Vulcans winning the turnover battle so far over the UPJ Mountain Cats here. Looking at the Mountain Cats roster, one of the players I noticed, Sydney Green, she's a sophomore from Washington, D.C. She's been battling knee issues, and she's not played all season. That's one of the players UPJ was looking for to have a big year this year.
But they certainly do have a lot of depth, as you alluded to, Matt, so it's pick your poison.
So now Carmen gives to Rizzo. Rizzo was open, but she passes it around. Now gives it back to DeCrisco. Long three by Carmen, almost puts it in, rebound by Kuko.
Carmen's shoots nearly 30% from beyond the arc, so that's another player you got to look out from beyond the arc.
Frotz uncontested to the basket, and it's another 2 points for the Vulcans, 12-6. Vulcans starting to build a little bit of a run here. That is 8 straight points. So now that one's stolen away by Glenn. Glenn's got Frotz with her. Let's see what she does. Gives it to Flott. Frotz back to Glenn. Great passing, and one. California.
Outstanding ball handling right there by Glenn and Frotz, as we'll see who the foul is on. So Mickey Glenn, after drawing the hoop and harm, will have the chance to complete the old school 3. But that was just the ball movement. It's just very impressive. There you see the contact coming in from, it looked like it was Rizzo. So that's her first, team second.
And Glenn puts up and completes the old school 3 to make it 15-6. California, and now that is 11 straight points for the Vulcans.
And it's Kelsey Slider now back in the game as Rizzo will take a seat.
Now 2 11s guarded on each other. We've seen Frotz break a couple ankles of some number 11 players, but UPJ is completely trapped there. Gets the ball, it's lost away. Somehow Slater's got it. Stolen away by Glenn. Now finally Doran gets control of it.
And a good effort by Slater just to keep the dribble alive and avoid the travel call.
Frotz gets it, throws it off, gives it to Doran. And back to Frotz. Gives inside to Mahadi. Mahadi working on DeCrisco, puts up a shot, no good. Rebound by Carmen.
That was we saw some good defense there by Leah Hansen, 32, going one-on-one with Mahadi, and not only forcing the bad shot, but not drawing the foul.
Now Carmen worked on by Mahadi, almost lost the ball, gets it back. And now she'll get called for a travel and another turnover for the Mountain Cats.
And we're going to see Aramina come back in the game as, trying to tell who that is. I believe Harper's going to take a breather. So basically replacing height with that substitution.
Something I also noticed with Jasmine Harper is she has that big knee brace on there, so she could be fighting some injury issues as well. Now Glenn takes it back cross court and gives it off to Frotz. Frotz inside to Mahadi. Mahadi works on Slider, puts up a shot and in. Make that a 13-0 run for the Vulcans. It's 17-6.
It's 6 points from Mahadi, 7 points from Mickey Glenn, and 4 from Frotz.
And a big three-pointer there by DeCrisco, and man, did UPJ ever need that shot.
Yes, they did, and we were pointing out those 3 players for Cal. That's been their offense so far today.
Mickey Glenn puts it up, blocked by Carmen, and it will be California basketball, but nice play there by Carmen as we see a new sub check in. That's Dominique Smith in for, it looks like that will be Leah Hansen.
And it's interesting, California has not yet made a substitution in this game.
Here's Frotz, back to Doran. Doran over to Mahadi. She'll take it back and control it. Around 12:07 left here in the first half. Kuko gives it back to Mahadi, over to Doran. Doran back to Kuko. Thought about a shot. We'll pull back for a three. Kuko, no good, rebounded by DeCrisio.
Yeah, Irina Kuko's been struggling so far. She's missed all 4 of her shots, including that one from beyond the arc.
Now DeCrisio loses handle of the basketball. Looks like they'll call it out on Doran. We're going to have our second media timeout of the first half. We will take a break here from the Convocation Center. When we come back, we'll show you the second half of the first half. Second half of the first half of between the California Vulcans and the UPJ Mountain Cats here on CUTV.
With 18 institutions, my conference is the largest league across all NCAA classifications. With nearly 7,000 student athletes competing in 23 championships, my conference sponsors the most championships in Division II. With a 78% academic success rate, my conference graduates student athletes well above the national average. We compete with passion. We take pride in our efforts in the arena and in the classroom. The Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. Passion, pride, Pennsylvania.
We have so much to celebrate in Division II, but we're especially proud of our commitment to Make-A-Wish.
Division II student athletes have led a 10-year initiative to raise funds and help grant wishes of children with life-threatening medical conditions.
Nearly $3 million have been raised, and hundreds of children's wishes have been granted.
We play hard, we work hard, and we support others in need. Why? It's simple.
Because we care.
Welcome back here to the Convocation Center here between the UPJ Mountain Cats and the California Vulcans, where the Vulcans hold a 17-9 lead in Creighton. Something I noticed about is this high-scoring, high-flying UPJ team has been really controlled by this Vulcan defense.
Oh, I mean, you look at the well, we'll get to more of that in a minute as we're back to live action.
Dominique Smith gets inside, quick inbounds pass, that goes awry. Frotz picks it up. Frotz goes down court with a lot of speed, working on Aramita, puts up a shot, puts it in, and gets called for the N1.
Caitlin Frotz starting to warm up again. We saw it again last year where she struggled a little bit out of the gate, but California is now picking up so many weapons. Watch as she drives the lane. She draws a foul on Aramina, her first, so Caitlin Frotz will have the chance to complete the old school three. She's an 80% foul shooter.
Frotz 80% and gets a nice lucky bounce there to make it 20-9 here with 11:44 left in the first half.
And she now has 7 points. Glenn with 7, Mahadi with 6. That's basically the Cal offense so far.
Three-headed monster so far. Here is Slider inside to Smith. Smith puts up a jumper off the rim, rebounded by Mahadi. Mahadi with the trap, gets out of it, gives it to Glenn. Glenn hands it off to Kuko. Kuko works inside. Kuko puts up a shot. That was no good. Too strong, rebounded by Aramina.
And we see sometimes with Kuko's shooting, it's not pretty. Sometimes it works, other times not so much.
And some great passing there. Goes not as UPJ picked up the pace, but it's controlled again by the Vulcans.
And the Vulcans were able to answer that pace. That's been another one of the hallmarks of Jess Strom's defense over the last couple of years.
Now Mickey Glenn makes a move, puts up a shot, and puts it in. Mickey Glenn with the hot hand, 9 points. It's 22-9.
And just the way she flew past that UPJ defender, just an absolute masterpiece. If you've seen this young lady play, there's a reason she was the PSAC Freshman of the Year last year.
And a really long three by DeCrisio. That was a gorgeous shot there by DeCrisio. 22-12. She's got back-to-back threes.
And she's a 56% shooter from downtown.
Excellent shooter there, and the Vulcans cannot afford to leave her. Here's Kuko, puts up a shot, her first 2 points of the game, and she'll draw the foul as well.
Good time for Kuko to draw the hoop and harm. We'll see who it's on. It looks like it's going to be on Aramina. We're going to have substitutions. There's a contact, and Kuko just getting the friendly hometown bounce as Aramina is called for her second foul. So after the hoop and harm, it'll be Kuko with a chance to complete the old school three.
Harper back in the game, getting Aramina in foul trouble 6-1 as Kuko does complete the three-point play. It's now 25-12. We're going to see Sierra Barrett for the first time today for Kuko.
And with DeCrisio, she's coming into today's game, she's 23 for 41 from beyond the arc. She loves to put up the threes.
Here's Dominique Smith here for the Mountain Cats. 10-18 remaining here in the first half. Gives it off to Criscio. DeCriscio's double team. Tries to get out of the trap. Gives it to Harper. Harper loses control. Here's CeCe Dixon. And Dixon takes it back. Dixon works on Carmen. Give it to Barrett. Gives it to Mahadi. Fires over to Glenn. Glenn wants a three-pointer. She's got a three-pointer. Mickey Glenn, too hot to handle. It's 28-12.
And during that sequence, Sierra Barrett able to save the ball from going out of bounds. That kept the possession alive for the Vulcans, and those are the little things that pay off in the end.
And another turnover. Mahadi with the steal. Gives it to Glenn. Glenn gives it to Dixon. Too strong on that one. Glenn being the nice teammate trying to get it to Dixon, but one pass was a little too far.
A little too much mustard on that pass there, Matt, but still, it's just overall, if you're a California fan, you have to be impressed with the way the Vulcans have come out defensively in this first half. They forced 11 UPJ turnovers, and we focus on that number a lot, but that's a big key to this Vulcans game.
It really is. Here's another steal by Mahadi. This is unbelievable. Mahadi gives it to Barrett. Barrett puts up a shot, no good. Can't afford to miss those. Now Franz is going to get called for a foul here on DeCriscio. That's going to be Vulcan's first foul with 9:20 remaining here in the first half.
The Vulcans showing incredible discipline up to that point as Rizzo enters the game, as Slider takes a seat. But, I mean, it's just that to not draw your first foul until you're nearly well into the second half of the first half, as you put it, Matt. I mean, that's just incredible discipline by this Vulcans team today.
But it's just something to be noticed about here as Dominique Smith has the ball. UPJ, a lot of good offensive numbers, but the quality of opponents they played have not been that well. As now another loose ball, and it's going to be Vulcans basketball. Another turnover for UPJ.
They played They started the season their lone loss against Point Park out of the NAIA. They played Bluefield State, a Division II independent. They also have wins over Clarion and Slippery Rock in divisional play. They played also Salem International out of the Great Midwest Athletic Conference and Urbana just this past Monday.
And 12 turnovers so far for UPJ, but Cal's going to have a turnover of their own here. Shuffled her feet there. Looks like she'll get called.
But we also saw Brad Robner, the referee, signal 3 seconds. So either way, it's a California turnover, but they still have a 16-point lead.
A lot to work with here. 8:39 remaining here in the first half. And here is Rizzo. Rizzo guarded by Frotz. Frotz is all up in her face. She gets around Frotz. Gives it back to Carmen. Now Carmen's pressured by Glenn. Carmen tries to get it to Harper. Mahadi with great defense goes out of bounds, and they're going to call it UPJ basketball.
Looked like it. I honestly thought that they're saying that Mahadi tipped the ball out of bounds. I thought Harper lost control, but the officials are right there. They're right at the play, right in front of our house, right in front of Allison Steinheiser on camera, as a matter of fact.
Dominique Smith hands it off to Carmen. Carmen wants a three-pointer off the rim, rebounded by Mahadi. She takes it back up court, gives it to Glenn. Glenn over to Frotz. Fast pace. Frotz for three. Off the rim. Bounces out. Rebounded by Carmen. Now Rizzo. It's off to Criscio. She thought about a three. Gives it back to Rizzo instead. Rizzo backs up. No room. Frotz working around. Gives it to Smith. Went all over. Got 13 to shoot on the shot clock. Carmen inside to Smith. Smith's went open look. Fires it looking for Harper. And it's going to be another turnover for the Mountain Cats. And we're going to have our third media timeout here of the first half. 28-12. And Creighton, the Vulcans just continue to roll. And UPJ with an unbelievable amount of turnovers.
Yeah, they're now up to 14 turnovers in this first half, Matt. And here you see Mickey Glenn with the assist over to Frotz as Frotz goes baseline and with the easy jumper for two of her Savion points. There you're going to see the great passing between Frotz and Glenn as Glenn gets two of her 12 right there. Mahadi just working on Slater, and she gets the layup. And there you see the three ball from DeCriscio, a junior out of Altoona. That's two of her trifectas on the contest. So it's just been, UPJ's had some good moments, but it's just been very impressive. You see the team leaders for California. It's been Mahadi, the team's leading scorer and rebounder. And then you see Mickey Glenn getting it done with the assists and the steals. But the one thing that stands out, Matt, she's played over nearly 38 minutes a game. And you wonder if over the course of the season that could wear her out. But we've seen a lot of toughness from that sophomore out of Bridgeport, West Virginia. And we see Jasmine Harper leading the way with 21.6 points. That was entering, and then you see Carmen, the leading rebounder. A lot of good weapons on this UPJ team. It's also pretty young, a nice mix of veteran talent and younger players. As Dixon will inbound, we go back to live action.
I mean, they have a nice core here between Chrissier's a junior, Harper's a junior, Rizzo's a junior, Smith's a junior. The only one that's a senior was Slater. And now back to action. The CC Dixon contains basketball. She's going to get called for a travel, and UPJ will get the ball back.
It looked like she might have lifted her pivot foot a little bit too much. We saw referee Margot Hinton just call it right away. So a bad turnover for Cal, but it's not the end of the world with a 16-point lead.
Definitely a lot to play with. Next stoppage, Lana Doran will be back in the game. But first, here's Nicole Harmon, puts up a shot, too strong, gets it to Harper. Harper puts up a shot, draws the foul, and it just rolled out, almost had a three-point play.
Or the opportunity there is going to be, right. Looks like the foul's going to be on Mickey Glenn. You see the contact as Harper shoots the ball, and watch on the rebound as Glenn goes over the back with the contact. So the correct call made right there, as it'll be a two-shot opportunity for Jasmine Harper.
And Harper puts in her first free throw there. He mentioned 69% on the season so far, and Harper's the leading scorer on the Mountain Cats with, actually, she's second right now. The Christie has 6 points because of the 2 3-pointers.
And they're gonna need to count on Harper to start heating up.
Definitely need her, and there is 5 points now for Jasmine Harper. 6 points there for Jasmine Harper. It's now 28-14. She's already has 2 more points than the last matchup. Caitlin Frotz wide open. Emma Mahadi for 3, off the rim, no good. Rebound Carmen, and they'll call it out on Lana Doran, and I don't know about that one.
That was one of those 50-50 calls right there. I thought it went off of Harper, but the ball was out of the referee's view, so tough break for California.
So now let's just be stolen away by Mickey Glenn anyway. Mickey Glenn working on Smith, gives it to Barrett. Barrett puts up a shot and goods. What a great pass there by Mickey Glenn to set up Sierra Barrett for the 2.
And the assist again by Glenn. We're seeing a lot of great ball movement by this team. The good crisp passes, the effective passes.
Now Harper, 2 inside under the legs of Dominique Smith and out of bounds. Another turnover for the Mountain Cats. Sounds like a broken record.
At 16 so far in this half.
And Mickey Glenn taking it back here. Great game she's had so far, but I just love the teamwork she has. She has a chance to go to the basket tonight. She has Sierra Barrett. She's going to give her some points. Here's Frotz, puts up a shot, rebounded by Barrett. Barrett puts up another shot and cleans up the garbage and puts it in back-to-back points for Sierra Barrett.
And that's right place, right time right there for the freshman out of Central Valley in Monaca. So it's really been, everybody's contributing so far.
And now Dominique Smith puts up a shot, no good. Looked like Barrett got a piece of that one here. Quick transition, here's Mahadi. Mahadi gives it to Frotz. Frotz gets fouled hard by Nicole Coracran. So that was a very hard foul.
So that'll be the 15th foul for UPJ in this half. You see the contact. Here's Frotz. She goes up for the shot, and the contact, it was definitely a correct call. Not by any means flagrant as Frotz hits the first, but still, that'll wake you up a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. Caitlin Frotz put in her first free throw. She's got 8 points now, only trailing her teammate Mickey Glenn. So far, those are the 2 leading scorers in this game between the 2 teams, as Frotz does not get the friendly roll on that bounce, so she go 1 for 2. It's 33-14.
And Frotz hasn't been to the line much. She ended the game 4 for 5 from the stripe, and she ends up splitting her foul shots right
Huge
there.
Trap, Rizzo trying to get out of it, doesn't get called for a travel, gets it back court. I'm surprised she was not called for a travel there.
Now that was close to a 5-second call.
And here's Dominique Smith. Smith works inside. Good pass to Coracran. It's no good. Rebounded by Frotz. Now Frotz takes in transition. Frotz pulls up. Stops again. Gives it to Sierra Barrett. Interesting call. Here's Barrett. Air ball. Rebounded by UPJ.
Well, she's a freshman. Just a freshman mistake. But for the most part today, she's played quite well.
Here's Nicole Carmen again. Carmen worked on by Doran. Gives it back to Coracran. Gives it to Rizzo. 5:05 left here in the first half. Slapped out, trying to find Harper, as it was slapped out by Sierra Barrett.
I'm going to see Olivia McCabe enter the game for the first time. She's a freshman out of Portage, Pennsylvania, as Harper's going to take a break. She's also 6 feet tall, so they have a lot of height and depth on this UPJ roster.
Portage very close to the town of Johnstown. Gives it to Olivia Rizzo off the inbound. Rizzo works on Doran. Rizzo fighting hard with Doran. Puts up a shot. Looks like she's getting fouled there by Sierra Barrett. It'll be called a shooting foul as well, so we'll see Rizzo go to the line for the first time tonight.
It's not a bad foul, actually, by Barrett. At least prevents the basket. You'll see here, she tries to drive the baseline. There you see the contact on the right arm by Barrett. So Rizzo is 6 for 9 from the foul line this season.
And she'll make the first one there to make it a 33-15 game, 18-point deficit for the Mountain Cats here. Got 4:54 remaining here in the first half, so they got to try to make a run and cut in the deficit, but they'll do just that. Olivia Rizzo 2 for 2 from the stripe.
And those are her first 2 points of the game as she takes a break to Crisio back in the game for the Mountain Cats. It's still a sizable lead for the Vulcans, but no lead is safe in basketball until that clock hits all zeros.
Absolutely not. Arena Kuko works inside. Double team for a second, gives it back to Mickey Glenn. Glenn puts up a three-pointer off the rim, no good. And they're going to call a foul. Looks like it's going to go against UPJ here.
It is on McCabe, it looks like. And it's going to be it looked like it was a foul on the rebound, so Vulcans will inbound. Next foul puts California in the bonus.
6-3, California is winning the foul advantage here as Sierra Barrett almost lost the ball. Gives it to Kuko. Kuko works around with a new shot clock. Mickey Glenn now directs the offense. Now Caitlin Frotz over to Doran. Doran in the left corner, works it back. Doran, a lot of speed, tries to find Barrett. Too low, too fast, and it's a turnover for the Vulcans.
You know, Matt, we were talking about UPJ's early season schedule. They love working overtime. They
sure do.
Their season opening game against Point Park went to double overtime. The win over Bluefield State went overtime. Their last game at Urbana went to overtime.
2-1 in that game. I mean, it's crazy. They hit 100 points in that Point Park game. First game of the season, as now we see Slider. And she's going to get called for a travel, and the Vulcans will get the ball back here. 4:02 remaining. We're going to see Precious Martin checking into the game for the first time in this ball game.
So we're seeing a lot of California been rotating eight players, sometimes 9 over the course of the game, but but everybody, when they've had the opportunity for the most part, they've contributed.
Mickey Glenn hands it to Kuko. Kuko pulls up for a three-pointer off the rim. Big rebound, Precious Martin and McCabe, and they're going to call a jump ball. It's going to be Vulcans basketball, and they're going to call a fourth media timeout of the first half, and we're going to take a break with 3:46 remaining here. The California Vulcans hold a 33-16 lead over the UPJ Mountain Cats. Stay tuned for the rest of the first half here on CUTV.
We have so much to celebrate in Division II, but we're especially proud of our commitment to Make-A-Wish.
Division II student athletes have led a 10-year initiative to raise funds and help grant wishes of children with life-threatening medical conditions.
Nearly $3 million have been raised, and hundreds of children's wishes have been granted.
We play hard, we work hard, and we support others in need. Why? It's simple.
Because we care.
And welcome back to the Convocation Center. We got 3:46 left here in the first half. We go back to action. Vulcans lead over UPJ 33-16. We see Precious Martin put up a jumper, just rolls out of the wind, unlucky bounce. Doran puts up a shot and draws the foul.
And that looks like it's going to be a foul in the act of shooting, so Doran will go to the line. And foul looks like it's going to be on Dominique Smith. That'll be her first. Again, it's team foul number 7, so California in the bonus. Watch on the rebound by Doran, and there you'll see, looks like a little bit of a push by Smith as Doran misses the first. And Matt, that was really almost ticky-tack, to be perfectly honest, but California needs to take advantage of these trips to the foul line.
While Doran puts up a second shot and misses both of them, so she does not take advantage of that foul. Tommy Smith takes it back here, facing a 17-point first-half deficit. Smith puts it off to Slater. Slater almost lost the ball again. And Kukoc tries to reach in. Big pressure and gives off to Carmen. Carmen, and they're going to call a foul on Lana Doran there. So that'll be her first foul, and that'll be the Vulcans' team 4th foul. So the Vulcans, they got a couple fouls to give as well.
It doesn't necessarily mean you necessarily have to give
Well,
them, but
yeah.
but I mean, it's worth noting. I mean, it's just, again, it shows incredible discipline today.
Now they're going to call another foul on Mickey Glenn. I need to see a replay of this one. We'll see Mahadi check back in the game. Glenn, I think, kind of made like an elbow motion, like Glenn gave her an elbow.
It was really hard to tell from this angle, Matt, but it was still, I mean, almost you're seeing the foul start to even out a little bit.
Another bad pass. Here's Caitlin Frotz, who stole it away, gives it to Mahadi. Now Frotz will get it back there. Another turnover for the Mountain Cats. Lana Doran's going to shoot a three-pointer off the rim. Big fight for the rebound. Her and DeCrisio, but DeCrisio wins the battle. Here's Slater, takes it back. Slater pulls it back here. 2:49 remaining here in the first half. Slater tries to find Smith. Smith puts up a shot, no good, rebounded by Doran. Now Mahadi will take it back. And over to Kukoc. Kukoc, big fast pace. Kukoc puts up a shot, plows over McCabe, no good, rebounded by Slater.
I think McCabe should be fortunate that wasn't a foul. They just let that play go, but still, I think you could say the same thing about Kukoc not getting hit with the offensive foul.
And Nicole Carmen puts up a spin around, nice looking layup there. And with the right hand hook, and the Mountain Cats making a 15-point game. See Jasmine Harper check in for the Mountain Cats in the next stoppage as we see Frotz give it to Doran. 2:09 remaining here in the first half. Here's Precious Martin. Martin looking around, gives it to Mahadi. 13 seconds on the shot clock. Mahadi gives it that back to Kukoc. Kukoc wants a three-pointer off the rim, rebounded by Martin. Martin puts up the shot and puts it in. 35-18 Cal U.
Now that's right place, right time for Precious Martin. And so far the only Vulcan who has not scored in this contest is Lana Doran. I'm sorry, Dixon has not scored either.
So now double team. Smith now stolen away by Doran. There's one of those plays you mentioned, Doran doing the little things. Doran puts up a shot, no good, but Kukoc cleans it up and draws the foul.
An unlucky bounce for Doran, but still good job by Kukoc to draw the hoop and harm on the putback.
Got a lot of and one opportunities, 3-point opportunities for this Vulcans team. We're going to see wholesale changes here for the Mountain Cats. I believe we're going to see a 5-on-5 switch.
Yeah, Mike Drehos, the head coach of the Mountain Cats, not happy with the way his team has been performing, so now he's trying to shake things up with a minute 33 left as Kukoc attempts the old school three.
Kukoc puts up a shot, and no good. I believe that is 3 straight missed free throws for the Vulcans.
They're 4 for 8 from the foul line.
So here's Rizzo, 127 remaining here. 19-point deficit. Now great play by Harper to rip it away, but even better play by Frotz, and so you'll call it out on her there. She stole it away from Aramina.
And Caitlin Frotz just could not control the ball there. It deflected off her out of bounds. So a big break for the Mountain Cats. They'll have 17 to shoot with a minute 20 left.
Rizzo, Harper. Harper loses it, but works around Frotz. They're going to call a travel on Jasmine Harper.
That's an unfortunate break for the Mountain Cats. I mean, Harper had the wide open look, and if it had gone in, but in any event, I mean, UPJ was trying to get it to as close to 10 as possible before halftime. That does not look viable at this point.
Now here's Mahadi inside to Kukoc. Kukoc works on Harper. Around the 2 biggest bodies for UPJ, and she'll draw a foul. It'll be interesting to see who they call, and it looks like they will call it on Aramina. That's her 3rd.
Aramina playing with a little bit of fire there. Kukoc tries to split the defenders. Aramina 45 and Harper 1, the 2 tallest players, but ends up drawing the foul anyway.
That is now 4 straight missed free throws for the Vulcans.
Kukoc just
not happy with herself either.
In a way, you can't blame her, but still, I mean, with a big lead, it isn't a glaring concern, but you get into a much closer game down the stretch.
Another missed shot. I believe that's now 5 straight missed free throws for the Vulcans, but still a 19-point lead, under a minute to go here in the first half. UPJ working fast, and a good layup there by Leah Hansen. I believe that's her first 2 of the game.
That is correct, and
Frotz puts on a move, puts on the wheels, misses the shot, goes out of bounds, and they're going to call it out on Cal.
Actually, they're going to call a foul, Matt. We saw the trailing official whistle Precious Martin on it. Looked like a loose ball foul there. So the next foul for California would put UPJ in the bonus with 42 seconds left.
42 seconds left here. They cannot hold the ball for the rest of the first half here, but they're interesting to see if they hold back or try to work quick. I mean, down 17, 32 seconds. Here's Corcoran. Gives to Harper. Harper working on Mahadi. Puts up a shot and good. Jasmine Harper, much needed 2 points. It's 15-point deficit.
I mean, it's daunting. It's not an insurmountable lead if you're UPJ, so it's there's still plenty of basketball left to be played, to say the very least.
And all those missed free throws are keeping UPJ somewhat close. But here's Frotz, 5 seconds, gives it to Mahadi. Mahadi, 4 seconds, got to take a shot. Mahadi puts up a three, no good. Rebounded by Doran. Doran puts up a shot and puts it in. Are they going to count it? They will. Lana Doran at the buzzer.
That's a very dramatic way to score your first points of the game, Matt, but Mahadi's foot was on the line on that shot, so it would have been a two, but nonetheless, talk about a momentum booster for California going into halftime.
And when it's right, when it's your night, it's your night. The Vulcans have had a great first half against the UPJ Mountain Cats here, as the refs will be walking off the court here. Right now, the scoreboard says 39-22 California Vulcans at halftime after that great shot by Lana Doran. We'll take a break for halftime, and when we come back, we'll have the second half of this PSAC West matchup between UPJ and California. Stay tuned.
NCAA Division II has much to cheer about, as nearly 100,000 student athletes compete with passion and pride. And I'm pleased to share the best news of all. Student athletes are outperforming the rest of the D2 student body in graduation rates. Just another reason why you'll hear us say with pride, I chose Division II. Learn more at d2sa.org.
With 18 institutions, my conference is the largest league across all NCAA classifications. With nearly 7,000 student athletes competing in 23 championships, my conference sponsors the most championships in Division II. With a 78% academic success rate, my conference graduates student athletes well above the national average. We compete with passion. We take pride in our efforts in the arena and in the classroom. The Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. Passion, pride, Pennsylvania.
Welcome back to the Convocation Center here for the second half between the UPJ Mountain Cats and the California Vulcans. The Vulcans hold a 39-22 lead over the UPJ Mountain Cats. My name is Matt Hagee. Alongside me is Creighton Rabs. Creighton, it's been an interesting half. Vulcans defense shutting down this UPJ offense. We're going to take a look at some of the stats right now. What's the one that stands out to you the most?
The 20 turnovers by UPJ just in the first half alone. To put that particular number in perspective, they've had 3 games this year, Clarion, Slippery Rock, and Salem International, where they've had 19 or 20 turnovers for the whole games, and their season high was 32 in that double overtime loss, 2 Point Park to start the season. But the foul shooting for Cal is a big concern. Now, if it were a much closer game, you could be a little concerned. We saw them miss the last 5 foul shots in a row. So, I mean, you might be, with a big lead, you can get away with that, but if it's a much closer game against, say, a Gannon or an IUP or an Edinburgh full strength, that's a bit of a concern. So we have some highlights to show you. First, we'll start with Mickey Glenn. She's had some outstanding shots. She is 5 for 7 from the field for 12 points. Watch as she drives the lane, the outside of the lane rather, gets past the the UPJ defender. And there, watch as the deep shot from. The deep shot from way beyond the three-point line as she sinks that, and just again you see, watch as she sets up the pass for Barrett, and for UPJ it's been Kayla DeCrisio, the junior out of Altoona. She's been hitting it up from beyond the three-point line. There you see the first trifecta early in the game, and then you'll see the other one coming up.
She hit them back to back.
Yes, I believe you are correct. We see the first one, and then Here's the second one from floor level. Watch it, she gets, and she gets it in there, so. And we hear Nicole Carmen, instantly with her last basket, now has 1,000 points for her career. So that's a very impressive stat for one of the few seniors on this year. She's from Cleveland, Ohio. So just a very nice gesture by the fans on both sides, applauding Nicole Carmen's accomplishment. And IUP will inbound. It'll be UPJ, excuse me. Getting my letters mixed up, Matt.
Well, I mean, they're one of the two schools that use acronyms to announce their team name, but we're back to action here. Here is Jessica Harper. UPJ starts and looks around, puts up a shot, and as she did in the first half, she's down.
Oh, that's a...
You know, I noticed about her knee brace earlier in the first half there, but she just crumbled to the ground after she put up that shot. It was a great shot.
And it was great ball moving. Watch as she keeps the ball just to her left as she gets the shot off, and she just landed awkwardly on that right knee. That is a tough, tough break for the Mountain Cats. She is the heart and soul of this UPJ offense.
And now we're going to see head athletic trainer for California, Shelly Desario, come out, and also the student trainer as well. Take a look at him. She'll be in good hands there. I don't see a UPJ trainer. But while we have a stoppage here, we're going to take a look at some stat rankings, but how these two teams set up in the PSAC so far. You can see UPJ's first in scoring, but right now, I mean, California, that's changing that number so far.
Yes, you look at the scoring, UPJ, again, that first place stat ranking, again, mostly because of the level of competition they faced, their scoring defense among the worst in the PSAC. Now you see California right near the top. That is the worst. You have a brain cramp. My apologies, folks. It's just been one of those wacky Wednesdays, as we certainly hope Jasmine Harper's injury is not overly serious.
Because she has 10 points. She's the only UPJ player in double digits so far, and she's basically the reason why this game's not even worse than the score it is. But now Kuko puts up a shot, puts it in, and gets the 2 points back, 41-24, California.
It's worth noting Harper was the PSAC West co-athlete of the week.
Now Nicole Carmen, new to the 1,000-point club, puts a pass, and it looks like Cal's going to get called for a foul here. It's going to call on Mahadi. That's her first.
So we saw in the first half it took over 10 minutes for Cal to get their first foul. Now you see in the first 35 seconds.
Ooh, that was nifty what just happened there. Dominique Smith put it in, and Mickey Glenn kicked it right to the ref, and he caught it.
Oops.
That was awesome. Dominique Smith once more, and gives it to Kelsey Slater. Slater spins around Mahadi, takes a dribble, puts up a shot, no good, rebounded by Kuko.
Well, Kuko's certainly going to bounce back from a sometimes rough first half, but she's been a consistent performer for this Vulcans team.
Here's Kuko again, who put up the first 2 shots. That one's off the rim, and UPJ will recover. Nice play there, Dominique Smith. Here's Slater, wide open Aramina, fires it over to a wide open Rizzo. Rizzo thought about a shot, but puts up in, works inside. Great nifty move there by Olivia Rizzo, and UPJ cuts it back to 15.
He was able to get it past Kuko.
Now Glenn charged to the basket, fired it back to Kuko to slow things down. We're just underway here in the second half. As Caitlin Frotz holds possession. 15 on the shot clock. Frotz works around looking for Mahadi. Mahadi puts up a pass to Glenn. Back inside to Doran. Doran puts up the basket off the rim, rebounded by Slater.
If you're California, you can't afford to be off to a slow start in the second half, because UPJ can certainly bounce right back.
And UPJ off to a better start shooting so far than they did in the first half. So Dominique Smith looks inside for a big body there for Aramina. Aramina loses control, gets it back, but Mahadi takes it away. Another turnover.
And that was good defense by Mickey Glenn to help force that turnover.
Mahadi with a jumper, and that one is good. 43-26 Cal U. Now UPJ will take it back here. Dominique Smith, a great shot there by Mahadi. Mahadi with 8 points so far in this game, 10 it up. And that was an errant pass, and California will get possession back. And Creighton, that's been the problem with UPJ. Some of their passes have been way off the mark.
That certainly goes without saying, but an interesting point about Nicole Carmen. She is the 34th UPJ Mountain Cat to, we'll try this again, the 34th player in UPJ women's basketball history to record 1,000 points. That's an impressive accomplishment for a historic program.
It really is, and Glenn puts up a three-pointer off the rim, and Doran and Rizzo fought it for it, but now Aramina gets possession. Double team gets it to Carmen.
And UPJ fortunate that was not a call to jump ball. Cal possession arrow right now favors Cal.
And almost Aramina interfered with the pass there, but Rizzo gained possession, and now it's back to Smith. Smith inside to a wide open Nicole Carmen, who puts it in her 1,002 point of her career.
And we saw the double team by Kuko and Mahadi, but UPJ able to beat that double team.
Kuko, and a great play there by Nicole Carmen that batted away and got all ball on that one.
That was a clean block and a clean steal. Excellent job by Carmen.
Back and forth action so far. One team's made a basket, but no team's had consecutive points as Nicole Carmen stole away, put it up again, and missed both shots, and that's a tough break there for Nicole Carmen.
And again, that aggressive defense by Mickey Glenn, who along with Jasmine Harper of UPJ were co-players of the week.
And Glenn scorches Carmen on offense there. She puts it back 45-28 Cal U.
She has 14 points to lead all scorers.
Smith. And now battled by Glenn, double teamed by Mahadi. Now somehow gets to Slater. Great play. Slater back to Smith. Smith wants a three-pointer off the rim, rebounded Mahadi.
And that was an outstanding effort by Dominique Smith just to keep the play alive, but UPJ couldn't capitalize.
Mahadi takes a shot from the free throw stripe, and it's no good, and it's rebounded by Aramina. Aramina in foul trouble with 3 fouls, 6 now. Carmen with a long three-pointer off the rim, controlled by Mahadi.
And it looks like UPJ is really putting pressure on themselves to try and get this down to at least 10. I mean, again, there's about under 16 minutes left, so there's still a lot of basketball to be played. You don't have to get it all in one shot, obviously.
Mahadi takes herself to the basket, draws the foul, and they're going to call it on Kelsey Slater. And we're going to have our first media timeout here of the first half. 15:41 second half. 45-28 Cal U. And UPJs, they've shot a little bit well, but Cal just keeps pushing it back every time UPJ tries to get a run going.
It's like every time UPJ's tried to at least cut much further into the Vulcans' lead, they've been able to respond. There's Jasmine Harper with a jumper to start the second half, and the unfortunate injury. She's still being tended to by the training staff. And there you see Mickey Glenn getting out, finding Kuko, and Kuko drives the lane for 2 of her 7 points in the game. And just the way Olivia Rizzo drove the baseline, got the jumper, just an outstanding play there. And there you see Dominique Smith drive the lane and dishes it off to Carmen for 2 of her 6 points. And on the other end, there's Mickey Glenn. Mickey Glenn has just been on fire this evening with 14 points. And you can check out our CUTV Sports 1 channel on YouTube. You can watch it whether you're in the Mon Valley or even up in a very cold Canadian wilderness or anywhere around the world. We've had some of our alumni, when they were living over in Japan, were able to check out our sports broadcasts on the YouTube channel there. So it's really been bridging the gap around the world about this station and the hard work that everybody on this crew puts in.
My parents, they actually taped the PSAC volleyball championship we did on PCN, so it's great that they're seeing their stuff here. As Barrett gives it back to Glenn. Glenn puts up a shot and good. There's 2 points there for Mickey Glenn.
They haven't been able to contain Mickey Glenn. She's just been some of the shots have been very lucky, but still, that luck will get you up to 16 points.
Glenn, incredible hot streak right now. Didn't she, in the first 2-3 games, she didn't start off up to her standards, but here we see great defense, double team, but an even better play by Olivia Rizzo to keep it out. Now, 3-pointer in the corner, it's off the mark, but Cal was boxed out there, was rebounded by Jamie Tabin, who's seen her first actually game. DeCrisio, my goodness, this girl can shoot.
I mean, and if you're UPJ, you're hoping that the other players on this team can step it up.
3 for 3 so far. 3-pointers. Frotz going to try to answer with a 3, and that was rebounded by Olivia Rizzo. So Rizzo takes it back. 14:39 remaining. It's 16-point deficit. So looking around 15 on the shot clock. Smith almost loses hand and now throws another errant pass, and that's taken by Mahadi. Now they're Frotz. Frotz is all alone. Frotz puts up a shot all to just off the rim.
Frotz had a good look, but the shot just not what we're used to seeing out of Caitlin Frotz. A rather unfortunate miss.
Too much strength on that one. Here's to Crisio again. Crisio puts up a shot, no good. Rebounded by Doran, and looks like we'll have a foul on UPJ.
It's going to be a loose ball foul. We'll wait to see who it is on, but we see a substitution as Leah Hansen enters the game as Dominique Smith takes a seat. Yeah, Dominique Smith has made a few very impressive plays. Again, the ones that don't show up on a score sheet, but the passes and whatnot, and she's taking a seat because that was her third foul.
Yep, and he can't get fouled. And now Mickey Glenn does what she does best, goes to the basket, draws the foul, and she'll go to the line for 2. So we'll see. Foul is second foul on Olivia McCabe, who's now taking in the role that Jasmine Harper normally plays as one of the 2 power forwards. Now Mickey Glenn will go back to the line here, trying to snap the recent run of bad foul shooting, and Mickey Glenn ends that right there. Glenn, one of the better free throw shooters, 88.9% coming into the game. Last season, she was tremendous from the free throw stripe. It's good to have consistent players like that can shoot.
And that's certainly a good morale booster for the Vulcans.
And 2 easy shots there. Mickey Glenn, she's got 17 points now. That's 18 points now. That's a game high. 13:58 remaining here in the first half. And now an errant pass there by Olivia Rizzo right to Emma Mahadi. She's like, thank you very much.
Might be the easiest steal Emma Mahadi has had in her 4 years here at Cal. We have a foul on the play.
Now we're going to see another foul here, and it looks like it's going to be on McCabe again. So back-to-back fouls for her. She's got 3.
And UPJ's got 3 players in foul trouble. There you see, there's
their big players that are in foul trouble. McCabe and also Aramina as well. Now Mickey Glenn pulls up from the right corner. No good. Rebounded by McCabe.
And McCabe, you're alluding to that. She has 3 fouls. Aramina has 3 fouls, and as does Dominique Smith. So UPJ's got to be a little bit more cautious at this stage of the game.
And I do not see Jasmine Harper on the bench. So it looks like she's probably done for the game. Here's a 3-pointer by Olivia Rizzo. That was a nice shot there. Olivia Rizzo starting to see UPJ, this good 3-pointing shooting team, starting to make a couple baskets.
And that's something California's got to be very mindful of.
Now Mahadi, she's double-teamed. Great defense by McCabe, but McCabe's going to be called for another foul. That's her 3rd straight foul. She's got 4 fouls.
And without Harper, that's going to have a big impact on that depth. It's team foul number 5 for the Mountain Cats. We're alluding to that 3-point shooting in their win last season at UPJ.
And Nicole Carmen comes in for McCabe. Here's Mahadi. Mahadi thought about a 3. Now works inside on Carmen. Puts up a shot. No good. A great rebound. A forceful rebound there by Carmen.
Really?
And his ball almost came flying into the scorer's table because out of bounds. And it will be Cal basketball.
And getting back to that 3-point shooting for UPJ, they were 6 for 14 from beyond the arc in the Vulcans' loss at UPJ, the 73-72 loss back on January 11th. So, but when this 3-point attack gets hot for the Mountain Cats, look out. They're as dangerous as anybody in the PSAC West.
Absolutely can. Lana Doran is inside the Sierra Barrett. 12:49 remain. Works on number 34, and it draws the foul on Jamie Tabone.
It's the first time we've seen her today. She's a sophomore from Penn Hills as we'll see the contact on Barrett's arm. You see Barrett driving the baseline, and there you see a little bit of a contact, but nonetheless, 2 shots for Barrett.
UPJ with 6 team fouls already, and Sierra Barrett drains her first free throw here. 60% mentioned before. She's from Central Valley High School. Her alma mater football team in the PIAA AAA Western Finals against Bishop McDevitt from Harrisburg. It should be an excellent game on Friday.
And now we see Kelsey Slider back in the game for the Mountain Cats.
Barrett, no good, and rebounded by Nicole Carmen. So now you see Hansen. Hansen works on by Mickey Glenn, gives it back to Carmen. Carmen almost loses the ball, pushes around Mahadi and puts up a shot. Nicole Carmen with 1,004 points.
Just very impressive ball movement by Nicole Carmen. She now has 8 points on the game.
Starting to heat up here in the second half, but still down 14. Mahadi goes to the basket. She's going to draw a foul. That's going to be on Leah Hansen.
And that's Hansen's first, but that now puts California in the bonus. We'll see the contact on the right, on the left. You see the reach in and the contact on Mahadi's arm, so that'll result in a 2-shot foul.
Mahadi, 77.8% from the line. Another good free throw shooter for this Cal Vulcans team. Makes her first free throw. Now makes her second one, so 2 for 2 for the Aussie.
And Cal is now 4 for 5 5 for 6 from the foul line in the second half. Much better than their 4 for 10 showing in the first half.
Some passing that's being real. Vulcans trying to do a full court press here. A slider. Trying to work around Sierra Barrett. Barrett pokes the ball out, but DeCrisio back to get it. Now DeCrisio, that was stolen away by Mickey Glenn, but a good play there by Tabone to get it back. Now a three-pointer from the corner by Rizzo, no good. And jump ball, and it looks like Vulcans will get it, and we're going to have our second media timeout of the second half. 11:54 remaining here in the ball game. The Vulcans hold a 52-36 lead over the UPJ Mountain Cats. Stay tuned for the second half of the second half here on CUTV.
With 18 institutions, my conference is the largest league across all NCAA classifications. With nearly 7,000 student athletes competing in 23 championships, my conference sponsors the most championships in Division II. With a 78% academic success rate, my conference graduates student athletes well above the national average. We compete with passion. We take pride in our efforts in the arena and in the classroom. The Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. Passion, pride, Pennsylvania.
We have so much to celebrate in Division II, but we're especially proud of our commitment to make a wish.
Division II student athletes have led a 10-year initiative to raise funds and help grant wishes of children with life-threatening medical conditions.
Nearly $3 million have been raised, and hundreds of children's wishes have been granted.
We play hard, we work hard, and we support others in need. Why? It's simple.
Because we care.
Welcome back to the Convocation Center here, 52-36. California leads over UPJ with 11:54 remaining here in the second half, and Creighton, the Vulcans just slowly but steady trying to get to the finish line.
Yeah, I mean, it's a 16-point lead, Matt, and if you're UPJ, your goal is to at least get the lead down to single digits either before the next media timeout or even to the 10-minute mark. And the three-point prowess of this UPJ team.
And Frotz bulldozes over Nicole Carmen. And they're going to draw a true. So they're going to call an offensive foul on Caitlin Frotz.
And we'll watch on the replay. The great pass by Mahadi finds a wide open Frotz, and you'll see Carmen's feet not exactly set. So that's a question.
So they call positioning more than anything. So I could see the call. I could see where they got the call on that one.
And
now Carmen's going to pull up for a three-pointer. No good, but rebounded by DeCrisio. Falls to the ground, and they're going to call a foul on Mahadi, I believe.
And getting back to that point, Matt, that's, to be fair, one of the toughest calls in basketball, the blocking versus charging. And there you see the contact by Mahadi. That was a fairly straightforward call as Mahadi picks up her second foul, team foul number 3 with 11:29 left in regulation.
Now, but the Vulcans still hold the advantage in the 7-3 foul differential here, as Leah Hansen will inbound. Goes to get to Slater. Slater works around Frotz. The ball will go out of bounds. Looks like they'll call it out. No, they'll call a foul. I don't know who is on.
I think it'll be on Frotz because we saw towards the left side of the basket the contact. So that'll put Kelsey Slider on the line. She's a 78% foul shooter. As we mentioned, she's not too far from here. Went to Uniontown High School.
Friendly bounce on that one there, but one of the good Uniontown basketball players that's been produced these past couple years, Mallory Sander, who played at Seton Hill for a little bit, javelin thrower, as Slater makes both of them, and UPJ has not missed a shot from the free throw stripe.
Well, they've gone to the line 6 times today. California 17.
Glenn smokes the UPJ defense and puts up another shot. She's got 20 points.
And that's how you answer if you're California. No matter how hard you let UPJ back in the game. I mean, if you have an answer for it, then you'll be in good shape if you're Cal.
Carmen forces a pass inside, blocked away by Caitlin Frotch. She was looking for Corcoran, and Mahadi takes it back. So 5 blocks, 7 plays for Glenn. Another nice move by Glenn, and she'll draw the foul, but Mickey Glenn's putting on some moves on the Convocation Center floor.
And that's going to be foul on Leah Hansen, her second. Watches as Glenn drives the lane, it'll be a 2-shot foul. And as a point of clarification, Matt, it's actually Corcoran on our cheat sheet, so that's a misspelling on my part, and I do apologize to Nicole Corcoran as Glenn hits the first.
So Glenn continues to shoot very well from the free throw stripe there. 55-38 lead for the Vulcans. 10:54 remaining here. Mickey Glenn, 21 points, lucky 21.
21's of every, well, matches her jersey number.
That's right, it does. And now it matches Irina Kuko's jersey number as she has 22 points.
I'll have to see if that matches a career high for the...
Stolen away by Mahadi. Gives it to Glenn. Glenn puts up a 3-pointer off the rim, rebounded. Barrett puts up a shot and puts it in. Unbelievable play by Sierra Barrett. And now Mahadi's going to steal it away again. Right back to Barrett. This is unbelievable. Wow. Timeout UPJ.
They need one. That is just bang, bang, bang. If you're California, it's going to be a 30-second timeout that extends to a full. But nonetheless, you hear the crowd starting to get fired up here at the Convocation Center. Just watch the stick-to-itiveness by Sierra Barrett on that play, and just watch this, the feed from Mahadi and the layup on the baseline. I mean, Barrett is just, that's 9 points so far for the freshman.
I like the stare she gave Leah Hansen here. We're going to see the Cal U Marching Band doing the patented techno, the dance chant that the band does in the football games, basketball games. Great to have them here today. And as myself, a proud member, just wrapped up my marching band career here at Cal. It's been a wonderful experience. Dr. Marty Scher just does an unbelievable job with the band every year, and I'm very proud to say that I played 4 years with the Cal U Marching Band. And it's great to have them here.
I'll tell you what, it's always fun to have the pep bands here, whether I know last year we had Carmichael's High School's band made a guest appearance during one of the games. I believe actually it might have been against UPJ. It was either that game or the Mercyhurst home game. But it's always fun when you have a pep band here. Because I know when I was back east as a freelance writer covering Westchester, I mean, they had my second year covering them. They brought their basketball band back, and man, that atmosphere at Hollinger Fieldhouse exploded that year. So I mean, it's like certainly hope this is the first of many appearances by Doc Scherer and the Cal U band here.
And Westchester, great music school, the uncomparable marching band they have at Westchester. But back to the action here, 10:30 remaining here in the second half. Here's Dominique Smith. Smith trying to cut into the deficit. Well, that's a nice looking shot, Dominique Smith. And draws the foul on Mickey Glenn. So Dominique Smith not giving up. And I've been very impressed with her.
I have too, Matt. I mean, I believe that's her first points of the game. And watch as she drives, goes one-on-one with Glenn, and Glenn, a little trip action there. I think Smith almost got away with a travel, but she does complete the old school 3 for her, again, her first 3 points of the contest.
But just anything, but that was a nice response out of the timeout because, I mean, 2 back-to-back plays like that to rip their hearts out. Mahadi puts it right back, and it's 62-41. Mahadi heating up.
Senior leadership in work right there.
Really
at work,
is.
rather.
Caitlin Frotz terrorizing Slater and Smith, but the UPJ just gets it across at half court. Under 10 minutes to go here in the second half. 62-41 Vulcans. Slater, guarded by Doran. Gives it to Smith, stolen away by Mickey Glenn. Now Glenn fires it down the court for Frotz. Fast-paced action. Frotz pulls it back, gives it to Barrett. Barrett puts up a shot and good. How about the play by Sierra Barrett? She's got double-digit points.
You know, when you're a freshman and you're getting these opportunities, you take advantage of them. Sierra Barrett has certainly done that. She had scored 13 her first collegiate game against Notre Dame of Ohio to start the season.
Maybe following the footsteps of Mickey Glenn from last year. Here's Slater, gives it to wide open Dominique Smith. Smith puts up a 3 and puts it in. UPJ is burying him from 3-point range.
I mean, it's still a 20-point lead. Like I said, I mean, anything can happen in these last 9+ minutes, but UPJ not quitting.
Frotz puts up a basket and good. Caitlin Frotz She's got double-digit points. 4 Vulcans in double digits.
But the problem is if you're if you're UPJ, every time you try and chip away at the lead, California's come up with an answer, and we've seen that a lot this entire season.
Now here is UPJ. They're going to call a foul away from the ball. They're going to call on Lana Doran, and we're going to see a lot of players coming in. It could be 3-on-3 switch for UPJ. Precious Martin's going to come in for Caitlin Frotz. Looks like we see DeCrisio, Rizzo, and Aramina. So now Dominique Smith trying to get the ball, and here's DeCrisio. She's been awesome from downtown. She misses and rebounded by Mickey Glenn.
And Mickey Glenn had to fight for that rebound.
And Mickey Glenn with a lefty pass to Mahadi. Mahadi jumper just rolls out, doesn't get the members bounce, but Sierra Barrett, I mean, she's been incredible. Gets the rebound, puts it in just off the rim. And Mahadi fights for the ball. They're going to call it jump ball. Aggressive play, but UPJ will retain possession.
It's a big break for UPJ. 22-point lead now for California. And you see the just fighting for that ball. And just the momentum, just knocking both players down to the ground. But still, I mean, a couple things that California can certainly work on, especially the foul shooting from the first half. But they've really been in control of this game.
Now Nicole Carmen gives it to Smith. Smith with a lot of speed, puts up a shot, rolls it in, and Dominique Smith is starting to pick up the points here. She's got
8.
The convocation scoreboard didn't update it. Now they do. Emma Mahadi back to Mickey Glenn. 8:14 remaining here, and the Vulcans can just take their time. Well up 20 points. Here's Mahadi. Long pass outstretched there by Barrett, and UPJ will get the ball back there. Mahadi, I think, overestimated Barrett's size on that pass.
Just a wee bit. That's only a second turnover this half for California. 9 in the game. UPJ now at 28 turnovers.
That's a big reason why the score stands at what it is. Now Carmen's going to try to pull up for a three-pointer off the rim, rebounded by Mahadi. She'll give it to Glenn. Over now, good pass there by Glenn to Mahadi. Mahadi pulls up for a jumper, puts it in. Emma Mahadi. That's 14 for the Aussie.
Wow.
68-46, California. Nicole Carmen over to Aramina. Aramina's done a nice job staying out of foul trouble, but she's going to get called for a travel here. We're going to have our third media timeout of the second half here. 68-46 Vulcans. And Creighton, we're going to take a look at some of these highlights, and Cal's really starting to put the vice grips on this game.
They certainly are. There's Sierra Barrett with two of her 11 points so far. But Dominique Smith, you got to give her a lot of credit. She's trying to rally the Mountain Cats. She draws a hoop in the arm and would complete the old school 3 on that sequence. And there's Mickey Glenn dishing it out over to Emma Mahadi. Mahadi with the deep 2 and just drains it. And here you see another 3 ball from Dominique Smith. And another one, Dominique Smith's she's really been the spark plug for this Mountain Cat team after Jasmine Harper went down with an injury. And Matt, if you want to keep up with the latest on what's going on with CUTV and our upcoming broadcasts, log on to our Twitter page at CUTV_PA. And you can also...
I'm sure this guy's on CalVulcans.com right now, checking out some stats on what all offers the newly designed CalVulcans.com.
A lot of teams in the PSAC who've worked with Sidearm, including the conference itself, have redesigned their website. California, I mean, it's sharper, and to me, it's more user-friendly. So hats off to Matt Kiefer, Sports Information Director, and the folks at Sidearm for the outstanding job of the redesign, as we are back to live action.
Here's Mickey Glenn. Hands it off to Mahadi. Side to Barrett. Barrett to Precious Martin. Martin puts up a shot. What a spin move, and then a nice job there. Precious Martin puts up the shot. She's got 4. 70-46. And now Rizzo inside to Smith. Smith puts up a shot, draws the foul on Doran. And now the Vulcans, which once had held a 7-1 foul advantage lead, now is only 8-7.
And the fouls are starting to even out. Watch a pass by Rizzo as Smith drives, but ends up forcing Doran to foul. And that is Doran's third foul of the game.
So here's Smith back to the line. And UPJ continues to be perfect from the free throw strike, 8 for 8. We're going to see Shatara Parsons for the first time this game check in for Lana Doran.
Another player from the Central Dauphin area. And she was teammates with Precious Martin at Central Dauphin High School.
And Central Dauphin had a tough loss in their high school football to my father's alma mater, Wilson West Lawn, back in Eastern PA. Random fact of the day, and now back to action here. 6:51 remaining. Emma Mahadi puts up the shot, makes another basket. Emma Mahadi with the hot hand. She's got 16. Now, Smith put it in. Impressive shot by Mahadi over 2 defenders. Incredible. Now Mickey Glenn stoles it away. She's got a clear path to the basket. Puts it in. Mickey Glenn, she's got 24. Incredible game by Mickey Glenn.
And that's a season high for Mickey Glenn. Previous tie was 22 against Shepherd.
Dominique Smith puts a long three-pointer just off the rim, and Mickey Glenn will control it. 6:15 remaining here in the second half. Glenn was slow down there. Tries to get it to Parsons, but a nice play there by Jamie Tabone. And Rizzo will take it back. Under 6 now.
Gotta like the scoreboard, 74-47.
DeCrisio with a nice looking move, though. I mean, UPJ and has to like having her back for another season. She's got 11 points for the Mountain Cats. So now Mahadi. It's inside jumper by Precious Martin, no good, and good play there by DeCrisio to box out Parsons. Gives it to Carmen. Carmen's got a wide open three-pointer off the rim, and easy rebound for Mickey Glenn.
That's been the story of the night, really, for UPJ. Sometimes live by the 3, die by the 3. They are 5 for 18 from downtown.
Now, Emma Mahadi, side to Barrett. It's side to Parsons. Parsons puts up a shot, and good. Shatara Parsons puts her first 2 points of this game. And the cool thing about this is for the Vulcans, the big lead they have now, they can start getting these players in the game, get them valuable experience. Parsons only a freshman. And now Nicole Carmen buries a 3, and UPJ, again, they're just trying to shoot threes and, like I said, live and die by them.
Well, you certainly appreciate the fact they're not giving up. They're still playing defense on the Mountain Cats, so they're...
Glenn put up a jumper, no good. Looks like they're going to call a foul on UPJ. And it looks like Nicole Carmen's going to get called for fouls. We see a 3-on-3 change.
No, they're actually going to call a loose ball foul on Barrett, so it's going to be a 1-on-1 situation for the Mountain Cats. Incidentally, Matt, our next broadcast on CUTV will be traveling to Tippin Gymnasium at Clarion when and Clarion, incidentally, as we're taping this game, is getting dominated by Gannon. It was 72-38 with about 2.5 minutes left. Also sharing that for the benefit of our America One audience.
Nicole Carmen makes her first free throw. Something UPJ can take away from this game is what an outstanding free throw shooting team they are.
They have a lot of talent. It's just
really
a lot with a lot of young players. It's just a matter of the pieces falling into place, getting some game day experience. Carmen hits them both, and you see that a lot in the PSAC. So,
trying to keep players healthy. I mean, Jasmine Harper battling injury. I mean, that's basically your best player, your tallest player, and was the only one that had close to double-digit points in the first half. Puts up a shot. It looks like UPJ's trying to change it. As we see Mickey Glenn charge to the basket, just rolls out, rebounded by Shatara Parsons. She draws the foul.
And with 4:26 left to play, it's interesting to note, Matt, the only player for California not to have any points is Cece Dixon. She hasn't seen a lot of action. You saw the replay on the foul. It looks like the foul is on, I believe they said the foul is on McCabe, and if that's her 5th, I believe she is fouled out. And it is, in fact, her 5th foul.
So Olivia McCabe's out for game, and now they're UPJ's 2 of their tallest players as Shatara Parsons misses a free throw. She has not made a free throw all season. I'm not sure. That could be her first trip to the free throw stripe. Parsons puts him in the screen and misses that one as well. So definitely something Cal wants to work on for Clarion is working on free throws. But I'm sure that would be well fixed.
She's only attempted one foul shot coming into this game.
So not a lot of experience from there. Tough. It'd be something to work on. Carmen puts up a shot, blocked away by Parsons.
Now that is a rejection.
Yes. SWAT team action on the other side of the court, but now Mickey Glenn takes it back under 4 minutes. And here's Parsons. Parsons puts up a shot, too strong, rebounded by number 35.
That was Cochran.
And Dominique Smith puts up a shot. That one's too strong, rebounded by Mahadi. And Todd mentioned about Clarion earlier. I have Hannah Heater. She's very good. But
a lot of young players.
A lot of young players, a new coach. But one player that they don't have anymore that played such a huge role as a freshman last season was Kelly Johnson. But she transferred to Point Park. That was a huge loss. Mahadi put up a jumper, no good, rebounded, rips the ball away from Kelsey Slater. What a great play, aggressive play by Mahadi.
And man, a lot of changes at Clarion. Jay Foster, the football coach, announced his retirement the other day. Ron Ryder retired over the summer as men's basketball coach. A lot of changes up there at Clarion.
Mickey Glenn puts up another basket. That's 26 for the sophomore. I mean, she's got to be getting close to career high. And now, Smith gives inside to Carmen. Carmen working on Parsons. Flinks it back to Slater. Slater working around, gives it to
Cochran.
No good, rebound. It looked like Smith was on the line there. Excuse me, that was Tabone was on the line. This will have our last media timeout of this basketball game. 2:41, Vulcans ball in hand here. Stay tuned for the rest of the action here on CUTV.
We have so much to celebrate in Division II, but we're especially proud of our commitment to Make-A-Wish.
Division II student athletes have led a 10-year initiative to raise funds and help grant wishes of children with life-threatening medical conditions.
Nearly $3 million have been raised, and hundreds of children's wishes have been granted.
We play hard, we work hard, and we support others in need. Why? It's simple.
Because we care.
And welcome back to the Convocation Center here. We got 2:41 remaining in the second half. The Vulcans well on their way to scoring another victory in this battle of first place teams. And Creighton, look at our upcoming broadcast for the rest of the fall semester here. We talked about Clarion going up to Clarion, 5:30 and 7:30 tip-offs for the Vulcan men and women against the Golden Eagles, and then the commencement ceremonies in a week here in California. It's crazy to think the semester's almost over.
Yeah, the graduate commencement next Friday, and then undergraduate commencement on next Saturday.
And now a couple passes. It now goes in the arms of Leah Hansen. But great block. It almost goes into the band there by Precious Martin.
That was a great catch by Doc Scherer there.
Oh, yes.
I'm sure that's not, I don't think that was in the job description, but nonetheless, you got to love how these young players making the most of their opportunities. And
yeah, I mean, and those drums aren't cheap either. So
no
damage there. But now Mickey Glenn steals it away from UPJ. 2:15 remaining.
We see Brittany Nelson, a junior from Central Dauphin East, transferred in from after 2 years at Lackawanna College now in the game for the first time for California.
A lot of Harrisburg on this team. It's not a bad thing. A spin move by Sierra Barrett. Can't finish the shot. It's rebounded by Carmen.
Certainly a lot of talent out there. And
absolutely.
Out in central Pennsylvania. And Jess Strom's done a fine job recruiting from there, also recruiting some talented players in the Whippeal.
So now Carmen works around Nelson, and when she'll get called for a travel, 1:42 remaining, California will take the basketball back.
That's 32 turnovers now for UPJ. I believe that equals a season high. You mentioned they had 32 turnovers in their season opening loss to Point Park.
Looks like Precious Martin will draw the foul on UPJ player. We'll see who that is. Looks like they'll call it on Cochran.
Yeah, Corcoran, the freshman out of Baldwin, draws her second foul of the game, as we're going to see Precious Martin at the foul line. It's now double bonus situation as it's team foul number 10.
And that was the first free throw Precious Martin has made all season. And she makes both of them. So nice shot there by the southpaw. Now, Vulcans have dropped 80 on the Mountain Cats. 1:30 remaining. And now Precious Martin will intercept it, just leaped up and grabbed it with her right hand. And Mickey Glenn will take it back.
I mean, you give Precious Martin more playing time as her career progresses, she'll fill the holes.
Wow, Mickey Glenn, 28 points, puts on the moves. She's been incredible.
And that ties a career high that for that three just left me speechless there. But getting back to what I was saying, Mickey Glenn had a career high 28 points last year at Shippensburg. There's a foul.
And they'll call a foul there. Looks like they called on Tabone. And that'll be her second. So Mickey Glenn's going to go back to the line, try to add here. All she needs is 1 point, and she will have set a new career high. And unbelievable performance.
You just lose track of how many times she's been player of the week in the PSAC West. This definitely the future standard bearer for this program. You look at all the talent through the years. You just more recently, Kayla Smith, and Stephanie Michael.
Amy Johns.
Yep.
And Mickey Glenn with that free throw, 29 points, establishes a new career high, and for 30, just rolls out, but rebounded by Barrett. Barrett puts up a shot, rebounded by Tabone, and you'd like to see Glenn got 30, Barrett, but still, what a performance.
It's still a career high, and it's still just an impressive, just an outstanding domination by California. Their first home game back since they lost to Findlay this past Tuesday, and it's just really nice to end the home set of your, I guess, the first half of divisional play on a positive note with the 26-point lead.
Carmen puts up a free throw, and she'll get to shoot two.
We'll make that 25.
1-1. And Carmen's got 14. That is the team high for UPJ. She came in averaging 15.2 points per game, and she misses the second of the 1-and-1. There's Mickey Glenn with 43 seconds left. She can hold the ball the rest of the game, but it's fitting Mickey Glenn will finish these possession here for the Vulcans with the ball.
And she'll reset the offense. There's an 18-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock.
Glenn, this is for 30. Off the rim, rebounded by Tabone.
I'm sure she wanted 30 so bad, but knowing the kind of player she is, I'm sure she's just as happy with getting the win.
Tabone working around Barrett. Nice moves and a good shot there by Tabone. I believe that is her first. Yes, it is.
Yes, another one of the future stars for UPJ, a sophomore out of Penn Hills.
And Carmen not giving up. Carmen with a nice steal here with 10 seconds left. But Mickey Glenn, I mean, who else? Mickey Glenn, she's going for 30, gets it ripped out. But it's going to go out. I don't agree with that call there, but a great play by Kayla DeCrisio. Great performance by Mickey Glenn, and smiles all around.
And he got the bench fired up, to say the very least. But look at Mickey Glenn's stat line: 11 for 19 from the field, 6 for 7 from the foul line, 5 rebounds, 5 steals. I mean, I'll tell you what, there's a ball game.
Game over. California Vulcans, an 83-60, a very impressive win in a battle for first place early in this conference. Creighton, final thoughts.
And that's a good momentum booster looking ahead to Saturday's game at Clarion. The Golden Eagles lost again in 72-45. So right now, your top of the PSAC West is Gannon and California.
Also IUP as well. They scored a win over Mercyhurst, but that will do it. Vulcans, 83-60 winners at home over the UPJ Mountain Cats for Creighton Rabs. My name is Matt Hagee for an entirely great crew on this staff today. Next broadcast, Clarion, California, on this Saturday. Good night, everyone.
Yobi, long line drive kick. 2/3 of the way down. Chris Moeller trying to get there. Just goes right behind him, however. And will be kicked over to number 13. That's Andrew Sikora. Sikora works it back towards the middle, but that's where UPJ will take it and work it ahead.
You can tell right now Cal is slowing down in the offensive zone, and UPJ is just trying to get down the field as fast as they can in order to get these 2 goals.
UPJ trying to work it deep, goes off a California foot and right to Derek Yobi. Yobi picks it up, sends a boomer down the field, right out of the reach of Andrew Sikora. And it will bounce to Mike Casaro. And now Casaro will show off his leg with 8-10. Line drive kick right to midfield. That's where number 15, Christopher Carnes, will take it to the far side of the field. Mike Jurich keeps it in bounds. Sends it deep where Jeff Lindenbach of UPJ will take it, trying to find Chris Moeller. Jurich was just out of his reach. Now it'll be Mark Bucci. Bucci sends it deep. Over there is 13, Clay Kubrick. Derek Yobi just sneaks over there quickly, scoops that one up. And once again, UPJ is able to get it deep, but Derek Yobi is all over the place and won't allow any pressure by UPJ.
There have been quite a few chances where UPJ thought they were going to get a break, thought they were going to get around a defender, and Yobi's just played aggressive, gone out of the net and gotten the ball and stopped an offensive chance.
He's had a lot of help from his defenders. Mikey Jurich once again comes up big there, just steals that one away, breaks up the rhythm. Now it'll be sent deep by Andy Griffin, looking for Kevin Carney. Kevin Carney in the near corner. And a nice defensive play. I believe that was Mike Kalis, who just heads it away to the corner. Now it'll be Carney. Sends it near the net and cleared away by California to center. And Chris Moeller is able to at least disrupt the UPJ offense. 6:40 remains in this game. UPJ in California.
That's it. Well, that's the way to put it.
Another steal by the Vulcans. That one will go out of bounds, and now we'll see a couple more substitutions. One for the Vulcans with 6:30 remaining.
Come on, Cal, one more.
As California will throw in the ball from the far sideline right outside the UPJ bench. Taking his time now, tossing it in. Headed forward by California. Eric Grabiak will go back and corral this pass. Heads it up to Jeff Lindenbach. Lindenbach leaves it for Clay Kubrick. Kubrick kind of stumbles, and that allows California to get possession. But it goes right back to UPJ. 5:50 remaining, and Cal leads 3-1.
Cal's doing a good job of whenever they get the ball, just get it deep and make UPJ go all the way down the field.
And there's a bad bounce and a goal for UPJ. That one kind of just went off a California defender. Derek Yobi was breaking one way and all of a sudden had to kind of adjust. And that gives UPJ the break they needed with 5:39. It's once again a one-goal game, 3-2.
That was just a weird bounce. It was going one way whenever it hit off the defender's head is why the direction changed. And then Yobi definitely thought it was going one way. It hit the defender's head and went straight off the ground into the net onto the opposite side.
And that'll make the score 3-2. I'm not quite sure who the recipient of that goal will be. We'll wait for the official announcement. But that makes things a little bit more interesting here. One-goal game. California was just trying to keep it a two-goal game and just trying to put it away. Now UPJ has a little bit of steam off a couple of bad bounces, and they're right back in this.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of time left. There's 5:39, but Cal's going to have to keep the pressure on like they have been all game and not get frustrated even though UPJ still scored.
California trying to get something going. It's number 16, Jake Gaisla. I'm sorry. UPJ once again has some offensive pressure, but there's Derek Yobi. Yobi's just going to scoop that one up down to 5:20 left in the second half. Yobi's just going to take his time, get back to the center of the pitch, lay it down, then send a line drive 2/3 of the way down the field with that'll be out of the reach of the California offensive player. But Chris Moeller passes over to Christopher Carnes. Carnes trying to find Irvin Gosto on the near sideline. That one will go out of bounds off of number 12, Andy Griffin. And inbounding it will be number 22, Mikey Urich.
That was a...
And go ahead, Allison.
And looks like we're on TV right now. Thanks, camera 2.
Camera 2, Scott Majeski running that camera up on camera 1. Will Moore sacrificing some of our time in a beautiful Tuesday afternoon. Night class is starting here in about 5 minutes. In our time, as you're seeing this, night classes are probably long done.
Somebody stepped in glove.
Number 17, Tyler Rothbauer sending it in. And here's a chance. Nice defensive play by California. Derek Yobi's going to race over and steal that right out of the hands of JP Shantz. And with 4 minutes remaining, UPJ's getting a couple more chances.
Again, Yobi just being aggressive, going after balls outside of the net, and he's able to slow the pace down, which benefits Cal right now.
Yobi's kick trying to find number 18, Irvin Gosto. A little out of his reach, 3:40 now. And Mike Casaro is going to kick this one away. Casaro's kick. Short kick, not even making it to midfield. California will move it forward. Chris Moeller trying to get there. Will be sent back, and Irvin Gosto to the far side. And Mike Casaro scoops it up as California was trying to bring it in, and he'll move it forward. Number 17, Tyler Rothbauer over the 10, Mark Bucci. It's on the far side of the field now, 3:10 remaining. UPJ once again having a little bit of offensive pressure. California's able to clear that back towards near midfield where Irvin Gosto will get it. Leave it for Chris Moeller. Moeller can't control it any quicker than midfield. It'll be moved back to center. Eric Grabiak sends it back, and it'll be left for Andy Griffin.
Right now, Cal's doing a good job of keeping UPJ at midfield. They're not going to be able to get any chances right now, and with only 2:35 left on the clock, they need to start getting chances.
Andy Griffin. Nice play by the California defender. That was Christopher Carnes. Steals that one away. Griffin gets it back. He's going to work it back to Grabiak.
Come on,
moves it forward to Clay Kubrick. That'll be Jake Gazda, who sends it forward back to midfield, and Irvin Gosto. Some fancy footwork. Moves it forward deep. Here comes a chance for California, but the California player just kind of slips, and that gives UPJ a chance. We're down to 2 minutes remaining in this game. California leads 3-2 over the Mountain Cats.
Right now, Cal's doing a great job at midfield, not allowing UPJ in, and whenever they're getting their chances, they're pouncing on it. They're getting the ball and going downfield, trying to create their own chances.
This one will go out of bounds and get a stoppage of clock here. With 1:47 remaining, it'll be a throw-in from the far sideline. And we had a UPJ player on the sideline. I believe that was Eric Grabiak. Just kind of catching his breath once again. And the Mountain Cats will throw it in. Down 3-2, got a couple of goals off a couple of weird bounces here at Robin Park. This is what's made this a 3-2 game, as that one will go out of bounds off of UPJ. California will throw in. 1:30 remaining.
Like you said, Alex, they're having a lot of really weird bounces today, not only on goals, but also off of a lot of throw-ins.
Chris Moeller is going to forward this, and California's going to have a chance. Shot on goal. Rebound, that's number 18, Irvin Gosto. Gets the second chance and bears it home. California puts one in and might have just put the dagger in the back as California's up 4-2 with 1:22 remaining.
And that's a great example of just taking advantage of your chances. They weren't pressuring overly hard, but just get the ball to the net and keep driving. You get a wide open net to shoot at.
The goal scorer, Irvin Gosto, the junior, who came in about 10 minutes ago and really has played some good work in the offensive zone and finally gets paid off. 4-2 the score. California 18 shots, UPJ with 5. A minute 22 remaining.
And that is his first goal of the season.
And I believe that's his first career goal, as now he's going to take a jog over to the sidelines, kind of saying, my work is done. I got the goal. Now let's just go home.
Cal has just been doing a great job late in the second half after they got the third goal. They've just really taken advantage of the chances UPJ has given them, but they haven't forced anything.
And it'll be number 11, Kevin Carney. Leaving it for 19, Josh Wentz. Wentz back to number 4, Jeff Lindenbach. Lindenbach to Clay Kubrick. Kubrick to Carney. Over to number 2, Eric Grabiak. We're down to 57 seconds remaining. This one will go out of bounds off of California. UPJ will toss in. Number 17, Tyler Roth.